Before we start, my friend Katie Tutt asked me to give her a shout out on this video. No reason why, but she asked, so here I am giving you a shout out. Hey Katie Tutt. So my new lens arrived, as you've just seen, and it's the one that I'm using right now. Fun times. Yeah, how does it look? Let me know in the comment section below. But the other day I was going through my garage looking for something important document, and I found this. This was the first camera that I've done any sort of, semi-professional work with, the first photo shoot I've ever done with. This is the camera. It's a Nikon D200. You can easily find it on, second-hand market now. They're probably like 80, 90 quid. And this is my first ever non-kit lens. It's a 60mm f2.8 macro lens from Nikon. One of the older lenses. You can tell it needs a little bit of upkeeping, but yeah, this was the first camera that I sort of got into, like seriously got into photography with, and I loved it. It took me back a memory lane. So many things it reminded me of. But what also reminded me of was how heavy this is compared to the stuff we have today. And a question that I get asked quite often, relatively often, and that is, Tim, which camera should I get? What camera should I buy? And I think that's kind of a relevant question now, because I think many people are planning their summer holidays now with lockdown easing, having been stuck at home for more than a year. People are thinking about maybe getting a camera to capture those sweet memories and make the most out of it. So I understand if you're thinking about camera, and I know quite a few of you are, because quite a few of you have asked me before recently. This is the video for you. But before we start, the question really, before I give you any recommendations, is really, why do you want to buy a new camera? Because I think a lot of the times when people ask, what camera should I get, Tim? Really the question is, really what they're trying to say is, I want to buy one of these, lens switchy cameras, and I just want to know which one to get because they're so complicated. And therein lies my first question back to you, is why do you want something like this? Because oftentimes when I recommend people to buy cameras that are not one of these interchangeable lensy cameras, they get disappointed that I didn't recommend that. And that's never an insult, but because I know how complicated these things can be, and it's never one of those take it out of the bag and let's go on holiday kind of camera. You're gonna have to take time to learn it, to master it. And the worst part is that the lens it comes with often isn't very good, and so you end up having to spend even more money. So the really question is, why do you want to buy one of these cameras? And even within complicated lens changey cameras, either DSLR or mirrorless camera, there's so many different kinds. And so the next question would be, do you really want one of these cameras? The one that I'm shooting this video with, my Lumix S5, along with the 15mm prime lens that I use quite often, and that's one of the most common lenses that people use. It's called Nifty 50, nicknamed, if you don't know already. A combined total weight of nearly 2 kilograms. That's just one lens and one camera. Do you really want to be lugging 2 kilograms of camera things when you're on your holiday? This one, my sort of side camera, my second camera, is a Lumix G80 or G85, depending on where you are, along with a equivalent lens or a similar enough lens. This thing weighs under 1 kilogram. Okay, I've got my coffee scale over here, and I just thought I'd show you the weight and size of stuff. So this is my 50mm with my Panasonic S5, and it's 1,700 grams. This is my Panasonic Lumix G80 or G85, depending on where you are, with a 25mm, which is 50mm equivalent compared to that camera. Much smaller thing, and look at that, less than 700 grams. 1 kilo difference between the two. So there already, you get a smaller package. And then you have stuff like this. This is a Canon G7X, really capable point and shoot camera. And if we weigh it, I don't know if you can see it, but it's 318 grams. That camera is so capable of capturing really, really nice photos. This alongside with another one that I normally recommend to people who I don't think are really that into photography, but are more sort of want to take really, really nice photos. This alongside the Sony RX100 series, they start at around 300 quid, goes all the way up to 1,200 pounds. Take really, really capable photos. And then you have this. This is a GoPro. I've had this GoPro since 2013. I've used it very extensively for 2 years. You know, I filmed holidays, I filmed baptisms, I filmed you know, tons of selfies because of the super wide angle. Honestly speaking, this is one of the most fun experiences I've had with a camera before. This was what sort of got me into making fun videos. This is also around £300, and you don't really have to think about how you use it. And for me, if I weren't going to spend loads of time and money investing into photography, I would wholeheartedly recommend one of these. Obviously this is a Hero 3, they're now on the generation 9, so the photos and the sensor insight will be much better. These ones have sensors that are almost as big as the sensor I have in this Micro Four Thirds camera. So going back to the question of which camera should I get, Tim, the question really should be, why do you want to buy a new camera? Is it because you want to look cool with a fancy camera? If that's the case, that's not a problem. I think you just need to be honest with yourself. Or maybe you want to buy something that's going to take really, really nice photos and videos on your upcoming holidays. Or maybe you're really interested into learning, you know, diving deep into photography and videography and filmmaking and all that stuff. That's great, but that's the question you need to ask yourself. If you still have questions about which camera to get, leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know, and then I will make sure I'll reply with a camera suggestion for you. I hope this video has helped. I hope this maybe will help you a little bit more with your purchasing decisions later on for your holidays this year. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, click the subscribe button and give this video a like. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.